All right, welcome back to School Matters. Today is Wednesday, October the 30th. This week we've been dealing with something big, which is the distributive property of multiplication, which we'll get to in just a second. But before we do, two quick announcements for our classroom. Tomorrow's our Halloween party, 1 o'clock. Halloween party, 1 o'clock or 1:45 tomorrow. And on Friday, it's a big day. We are going to Southern Pines for our field day. Southern Pines for our field day. Dress accordingly and make sure your students are here by 8 o'clock because the whole school's traveling over to Southern Pines. So if you're not here by the time we leave, you're going to miss out. So please make sure you're on time Friday. Now, on to distributive property because we don't have a lot of time, and this is a hard concept for a lot of kids in third grade, but it's crucial to their success. Let's take the problem like 17 times 7. Now, we tell our kids they only have to know their zeros through their tens and their multiplication facts to be successful in third grade. So when they see something like this, the 17, it could worry them. All right, it could freak them out a little bit, and I understand that. All right, so the distributive property of multiplication helps us solve this problem, as they'll see on their quiz tomorrow. The first thing we want to do is, I say, set up our skeleton or set up our problem. All right, the kids know this. All right, and we're going to go through it really quickly with you, but the kids know this. They know to do this first. Now, we want to take our number 17, which is our biggest number. We always want to take our biggest number and make it into, split it into, decompose it into, break it into, I use all kinds of different terms, whatever helps the kids, into two numbers that we can multiply a lot easier. And for the number 17, I think the best numbers to use for this one, the easiest ones for us are 10 and 7. Because 7 plus 10 equals 17. The two factors, the two numbers, have to add up to the larger number. All right, and then we automatically bring down our smaller number, 7 and 7. Now this is an easier problem if we know our facts. What's 10 times 7? 70. What's 7 times 7? 49. And now we add. 0 plus 9 is 9. 7 plus 4 is 11. So our answer is 119. Now, could we have used different numbers for this to work? Could we have used 11 and 6? Well, let's take a look. 6 plus 11 equals 17? Yes, it does. So let's see what happens. What's 11 times 7? 77. And what's 6 times 7? 42. Let's add it up. 7 plus 2 is 9. 7 plus 4 is 11. So, it matters what numbers you choose only in that you're able to still multiply by them, all right? If you know your 11s and your 6s, this is fine too. What you probably want to avoid is doing this, 13 and 4. Yes, they add up to 17, but we don't know our 13. So a lot of times, it's a lot easier just to go with 10 and 7, or some numbers that we're familiar with in order to answer our problem. So that's the basics of the distributive property. If you have more questions, you can see the video that I posted yesterday on YouTube to someone else's that I think does a really good job explaining what we're doing in class. But this is the distributive property. First thing we want to do, set up our skeleton. Second thing, decide what two numbers add up to the largest factor that are easiest for us to multiply by. All right? The distributive property of multiplication can be a very useful tool in helping us solve these harder problems. 17 times 7, 119. Thanks. God bless.